You're born into this life without a real say, and there is no aim, no goal as you're born. But as you get through life, just like superheroes with their trinkets, you develop your own passions, your own things that make you you. A singularity. You ponder, and you get through life, and you suddenly think there is something you want to achieve. Perhaps there is no meaning to life, but I decide that I want to give it meaning, and I want to do something with it. This thing will be my success. But what is the success that we see online? What is the agenda? What is the norm? What is the habitual thing? And we are social creatures. We want to remain with the group, remain in the community. You look at the general success, it will look like abundance. Abundance of everything, of food, of house, of space, security, of style, of reputation, of women, of men, of body, abundance of everything. So why is it that it doesn't really appeal to you? That somewhere deep down, while yes, it would probably be tremendously fun to have enough money to do whatever you wanted, but then how is it that some people that already have that are still unhappy, are still unsatisfied? It may be daunting to think, I will never be satisfied in that case, but that is because the success that you're chasing is not really what you want to be chasing. As a case study, let's look at religious people. They are the ones, like followers of religions, read the most completion in their life. The ones that are truly devout. Monks, preachers, whatever. Right, the not corrupt ones, of course. What these people have is a firm devoutness to the cause that they believe in. Now, if you take a step back and we look at the less obvious people, there are also the generally successful people that are satisfied. But they're not satisfied because they got all of that money. They are satisfied because they are devoted as well. So how could you in yourself be devoted to something? How can you find maybe life isn't rays of sunshine for you? Maybe it's kind of a dark place. How could you find something that made you really enjoy every waking moment? At the end of the day, what is success? To flaunt? To show off? To make a display? Or to truly be content in yourself? What would be more beneficial for not only yourself but the world? Being successful in the eyes of others or being successful in your own eyes? And thus also, having the means to survive at the very least. Because there is a thing out there for you that will bring light into your life, that will bring the sunshine, the rainbow, and everything in between and above and beyond. But to find that thing, you need to detach a little bit from the united consciousness of the world. You need to realize what is happening in the world, that we are becoming a fragment of each other. We are consuming a lot of time on social media, a lot of time socializing, and whilst it is good to become a community, you will never attain self-actualization if you are always with others, for there's no place in self if you are with a group. Perhaps we will all return to the one after we die, but in this moment of life, if you want to make the most out of it and live life in a courageous manner, in an inspiring manner, in one in which you can say to yourself, I could not have lived a highest life than I did. And it wasn't the money, it wasn't the clothes, it wasn't the car, it wasn't the food, it wasn't the traveling, it was my actions, it was my virtue, it was my mentality, my inside. This thing that is out there for you is in the shape of a desire for the completion of a certain task or a way of life. And I believe through original research that I found, and I've divided them into three major things, which are creation, research, and social. Have you ever felt like you were doing the wrong thing? Perhaps you were not using your time correctly. You were putting in a task that wasn't really what you wanted to be doing. Perhaps you're a businessman and you changed from one business to another and you realized that the first one was so wrong not because you were doing bad, maybe you were making more money. But it wasn't what fulfilled you. It wasn't what made you happier. This is because it was in dissonance to your core and your essence. It was not following one of the three main desires. Now, of course, people change. And it might be that your desire will also change, but not until you've explored it. It may be that you are highly attracted to creation. You want to create maybe a product, right? A software to help people. Maybe you want to create a new type of vehicle, a new type of spaceship, and creating in your day-to-day life is greatly inspiring for you. It gives you energy, it makes you passionate, it gives you more love in yourself, which you then share in the world. It may be that when you start working for this thing that you greatly love, everything is just falling into place. Everything is just going right. And even if it's going wrong, you don't feel dismotivated so quickly. You have more guts than usual and you think to yourself, wow, I like how courageous I'm being these days. Because you have that willpower to spare. Because this is a cause that deeply moves you. This is because you are devoted. Many people show this devotion in religion or in their career. It could even go as far as serving your country in the army, right? Being a police officer fighting crime. The beauty about being devoted to something is that you can do it. You can have something that fulfills you to such an extent that you no longer care about being the richest or whatever, only when you once again detach from your passion, detach from the joy of life that has been granted to your consciousness. Your consciousness wants to be doing a thing, but you deprive yourself of it. Why? Because you go on social media and you cowardly cower away from the life that you are meant to be living. You think to yourself, well, what if I fail at this thing that I want to do? That would be so embarrassing, that would be so blank, right? And fear might even keep you from taking action. And then you start looking at other people that have an easier life and they promise you things that will make you happy, you know, that you want, right? You want to get drunk, right? You want to start going out at the club and, I don't know, party up with girls and sleep around and do this and intensity, and it's not what you want. You may not even think it's fun, but look, for a vast majority, that lifestyle looks fun, it looks appealing, flashing lights everywhere. But look, when it comes down to it, it will not fulfill you. You will still be the same. You will still encounter headaches, you will still encounter problems. You will still desire for something greater. If something big is what becomes the source of your satisfaction, you will be dissatisfied once again. You start to look for something bigger and bigger and bigger. But what if instead what fulfilled you, what satisfied you, was working towards the thing that attracted you? Creating something, researching medicine, researching the cosmos, researching space, researching religion, researching geology, whatever it is. Maybe you come out with the next scientific paper that will change the world. Maybe you come out with some psychological studies that help us make great spiritual advancements. Maybe you discover something about the body and there's a new magical diet, and it was all thanks to you. You share it with the world and you were happy in just learning new things. At the end of the day, you can't learn everything, you can't create everything, you can't help everybody. So, for the social. So you will never run out of the things to do, but doing them makes you happy, and you know that it's never going to finish. Because the end of the journey, while the completion is something greatly satisfying, there's a huge drop right after, where there's nothing to do, no reason to be. So what we really enjoy is actually the whole journey. And you may not realize it, but if you've ever worked towards a goal, a lot of the time, depending on the goal, actually getting that goal right at the very end, you are working slower because you don't want to get there. Because once you will get there, that's it, it's over. It's gonna have to be something brand new all over again. And you're fearful of the changes. But what if there was no change? Because you will never reach that goal. And not in a sad way, but rather, I can keep helping or I can keep contributing to the whole forever. But be forewarned, it won't always remain the same. For example, right now, I am big on social, right? I want to help other people. On a daily, I talk to others, I converse, I share ideas, and I see what I can do to improve people's lives around me. But I am also a bit, intrigued in the research, right? I like to learn new things, so I'm reading a lot, blah blah blah, etc. I'm putting my time and my space into these things. However, it might be that in a year's time, I want to create. I've put all of this work together and I'm a little bit fried from doing all of this work with other people, from doing all of this research. Now I just want to have a good ordering of the mind, and once I do so, collect all of this knowledge and put it into creation. And I create a book, and I create maybe otherwise an application where I can conjugate with other people, and we gather up and we make changes. I don't know, we become better, we motivate each other, things of the sort. I create different types of spaces or softwares until once again that no longer satisfies me and I want to do some more research. And I step away from the world and I go into the mountains for a couple of years to learn about myself, to learn about my spirit, until I want to go back to civilization. If you live in a life where you devote yourself to finding your deepest core, your deepest source, you may find that actually it changes. And the more that you peel into yourself, the deeper you go, and the deeper you go. And it's not that you're not satisfied or unsatisfied, but rather that you are living free and you are chasing true purpose, true acknowledgement of the one that we are all at the end, right? Anyway, if you're struggling with your path, with what you want to do, I do have a Discord. We push each other to become better. It's a really positive space because it's still little. Hopefully we can manage it even when it's bigger and stuff. But I would love to see you there. Hope you enjoyed the video. Strive to be 1% better every day. Much love. Quick reminder to fix your posture and take deep breaths into your diaphragm from your nose.